So, what do you guys think of Disney princess films? Like, in terms of, like, how they portray, like, women and, like, gender roles?
I guess some of them seem like they're trying to break away from gender roles.
And, like, now they're trying to make it, like, Frozen and stuff like that, trying to go against that and make them the kind of the hero.
Like, it's become more of a trend now for women to save themselves, which I love, but that's only because society has pushed that.
Yeah, so you do think it's improved then, the representations of women?
I think it's definitely going in the right direction.
Current day Disney princesses are doing a better job at more representation, more diverse characters, with a bit
like
more...
Princess Tiana, she want to build a restaurant.
Exactly, Tiana, Brave, we have Moana, you know, who's going out there doing stuff, more stuff than, like, say, Snow White, you know?
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say. Of the classic Disney princesses.
I think, like, traditionally, like, a lot of women were just portrayed as a kind of sexual object.
Well, they all go after a man. They all have, like, a romantic love interest.
Yeah.
That's always, like, the goal.
My impression of Snow White is that still in the end she has to be saved by the Prince Charming. So yeah, her role's the main character, but I guess not really like in a heroic sense.
I'm not saying that like all across the board the movies have bad representations of women, but this idea of like
the whole male savior complex thing.
Yeah, the male
and the damsel in
savior.
distress archetype.
Yeah, literally like the damsel in distress, the male savior kind of complex is this whole idea that we need like a man to save us, and that is like pushed in almost every single Disney film. Men do kind of have that expectation that they have to, you know, look after us and protect us and save us. And I'm not saying that did come from Disney movies, but maybe for some of us it did. I can so see why a man would watch a Cinderella type movie and be like, oh, that's what I've got to do. That's my purpose in life. I've got to find a woman and I've got to save her. And like that's a really dangerous way to look at society. Like we're never going to be equal if we think that we need to be saved.
Yeah.
You know?
And what impact do you think this could have on young girls?
It probably means that it gives them a sense that they're supposed to look for, I guess, their Prince Charming or be saved. I guess it implies a message that you need to be saved or get help from like a different man.
I guess like Disney and Barbie females are kind of similar, and that like there's always going to be that kind of idealized image.
If you think like Disney princesses are like role models for little girls, but now that you look at them, they are quite like sexualized.
Discriminating women because of their looks based off men's ideals.
How do you, like, having grown up with, like, Disney, like, princess films, like, how do you think it's affected you as a person now and, like, how you interpret, like, gender roles?
So I think it can have like kind of really like piercing results, like it really like gets into a child's brain as a like when you keep seeing the same images over and over again and it's not equal representation.
It will probably change like the self-esteem levels or like it's just how girls see themselves in the future.
I think that media has a more of a vital part in the societal kind of expectations that it thinks it does. They may just be kids' movies, but the lessons that you learn at that young age you carry for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
They are kids' movies, and you should think about like
They're not like princesses.
the ideals he's teaching kids.
Yeah.
So like every aspect, they will have like moral ideas, but he should have kind of considered, not he, Disney in general, should have considered
The audience.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just thinking whether it was like kind of
Were you inspired by
malicious
How
on
the
Disney
Beast?
side, or whether it's just like they made the stories as part of the time, and that's just like a byproduct, and like it's kind of more historical than affecting the culture. It's more like documenting it rather than causing it. In a way, like I don't know if he had so much of an effect because that was already such an inherent part of like Western life. That's the culture that it was like a biased sexist culture.
Yeah.
And like he didn't make that view, and it'd be kind of
He just
lying.
reflected it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what kind of movies and art does. reflects the times.
I get the reflection of the times, but I think that, like, also they have the power to influence change within the times. So, like, if you keep reflecting the ideals that you see within society, then you're just aiding in the perpetuation of those negative things, even if that's not necessarily the way that you think things should be.